Hello everyone and welcome back to the first 3 pages. So today I have a new book recommendation for you. This is called Lovely War. It's by Julie Berry. It came out in 2019 and it's published by Viking, an imprint of Penguin Random House. So this book has gotten a lot of attention lately. So first of all, it was one of our International Literary Association YA choices from last school year. So that's a good sign. It was voted one of the YALSA top 10 books, so you should read that. And it's also just came up on our Young Adult Literature March Madness list. So we read these books over the school year, and then we vote in March for our top book. So this one's gotten a lot of attention. Now, I read Lovely War several years ago. I actually met Julie Berry at a conference, and she's a wonderful author. And I've tried so hard to recommend this book to people, but a lot of people don't want to read it because they think it's too thick. But don't let that stop you. It's a beautiful story. So it's a historical fiction. It's set in World War I, and there are several strings of characters that are tied together. And essentially, the plot line of the story is these different characters, their lives all intertwine, and there's different romances tied between the stories. So you've got World War I, you've got action, you've got some violence, you've got romance, you've got historical fiction. It's all tied together. And what ties these characters together is actually a little bit of Greek mythology. So the book is narrated by Aphrodite and Hades. And essentially there is an old mythology tale where Aphrodite gets caught cheating on her husband with Hades. And she has to tell her way out of the story, or she gets put up on trial and she has to tell her way, explain why she cheated on her husband. And so what this story is Aphrodite and Hades explaining their affair through these characters' lives as they live through World War I. And a lot of people kind of get stopped by that. They're like, that's odd. I don't want to read mythology, but it's not all Greek mythology. So for example, the first 3 pages of this book, it's kind of like a play as well. The first 3 pages are from the overture, and that is going to be about the Greek gods and goddesses talking. But the majority of the book are going to be about the actual characters and how they're living. And how they interact with the god of war, the god of love, the god of death, etc. So I think it's a beautiful book. I would love for everyone to give it a shot. It's one of my absolute favorites. So let's look at the first 3 pages. December 1942. I hear a rhapsody. It is early evening in the lobby of an elegant Manhattan hotel. Crystal prisms dangling from the chandeliers glow with soft electric light. On velvet couches near the fire, couples sit close. The men in officer's uniform, the women in evening wear, resting their heads on the gentlemen's shoulders. Restaurant garçons seat couples at dim tables secluded by a faux Greek marble bust and shadowy ferns, where urgent kisses may remain unseen. The orchestra warms up, then begins the strains of I Hear a Rhapsody. A lady singer fills the glittering stage with her amber-colored voice. My darling, hold me tight and whisper to me, then soft through a starry night, I'll hear a rhapsody. She's not Dinah Shore, sure, but she's really something. A man and woman enter the lobby and approach the front desk. All eyes follow their progress across the Persian rugs. The man, colossal in build and stern of jaw, wears a fedora tipped low over his brow. When he reaches for the billfold from an inside pocket of his double-breasted, pinstriped suit, the panicky thought occurs to the desk clerk that perhaps the man is reaching for a pistol. His black and white wingtip shoes don't look jaunty. They look dangerous. He makes half the men nervous and the other half angry. He's the kind of man who could crush you beneath his feet, and he knows it. But oh, is he beautiful. His lady friend, even more so. She wears a tailored, belted suit of deep blue that fits her better than skin. Her figure is the sort that makes other women give up altogether. From the waves of dark hair coiffed and coiled under her cocktail hat to her wide, long-lashed eyes peering out through its coy little veil of black netting, down to the seams of her silk stockings that appear to be that disappear into her Italian leather pumps. She is arrestingly beautiful, impossibly perfect. The scent of her perfume spreads its soft fingers across the lobby. Everyone there, man and woman, surrenders to their awareness of her. The tall man knows this, and he's none too pleased about it. He rifles a pile of bills under the nose of the stammering clerk and snatches a key out of his unprotesting hand. They make their way through the lobby, with the man urging the woman forward as though time won't keep, while she takes every slow step as though she's invented the art of walking. They carry no luggage. Even so, a stooped and bearded bellhop follows them up the stairs and down the corridor. The violent glares from the tall man would have sent others fleeing, but this bellhop chatters as he lopes along on crooked steps. They ignore him, and he doesn't seem to mind. They reach their room. Its lock gives way beneath the swift thrust and twist of the man's key. They disappear into their room, but the persistent bellhop follows them in. He clicks the light switch back and forth rapidly. Bulb must be out, he says apologetically. I'll be right back with maintenance. Never mind, says the man. Bottle of champagne? The bellhop suggests. Scram, the man tells him. He and his lovely companion disappear down the narrow hallway, past the closet and bath, into a tastily decorated suite. As you like, the bellhop replies. They hear the door open and shut. In an instant they are in each other's arm. Shoe kicked off, hats tossed aside, jacket buttons are shown no mercy. One might not trust this man, and one might even envy or condemn this sort of woman, but no one can deny that when they kiss, when these two paragons, these specimens of sculpted perfection collide, well, kisses by the billion happen every day, even in a lonely world like ours. But this kiss is a kiss for the ages, like a clash of battle and delicious melding of flesh rolled together and set on fire. They're lost in it for a while, until a cold metal net falls over them and the electric lights snap on. Evening, Aphrodite, says the stoop-shouldered bellhop. So, the opening, Aphrodite and her lover Hades have just been caught by her husband cheating. So now they're about to weave this beautiful story about these four characters. Their names are Hazel, James, Aubrey, and Colette, as they survive World War I. And they're going to try and tell their story to explain their own crimes, so to speak. So we have 2 copies in the library. It's won lots of awards. I love to see you guys read it. Swing by and check it out. Thanks.